News. This is special coverage of the coronavirus impact.
When the coronavirus hit, it really knocked me out of a job, so it was hard for me.
Thousands upon thousands of North Carolinians are saying the same thing. Tonight at 10, how Tryout leaders helped a woman who wasn't only jobless, she was homeless. In Winston-Salem, people will staying at home a little bit longer because of the coronavirus outbreak. Mayor Alan Joines is extending the order for another 3 weeks through May 7th now. He says based on medical and scientific modeling, if the stay-at-home order is allowed to expire on Thursday, Winston-Salem would see a 50% increase in COVID-19 cases. Forsyth County commissioners say they're not going to extend the stay-at-home order. It ends Thursday. The board's chair says the county's order is a lot like North Carolina's, and he doesn't want to confuse people. The statewide stay-at-home order is in effect until April 29th. No decision yet from Guilford County leaders. A spokesman tells us they are discussing whether to extend the county stay-at-home order past Thursday. We expect to learn more tomorrow, but again, do want to emphasize the statewide stay-at-home order remains in place for everyone in North Carolina through the end of April, and Governor Cooper says that could be extended. Winston-Salem city leaders also discussed plans for helping homeless men and women and families during the stay-at-home order. The plan includes special housing for people who test positive for COVID-19 and working with hotels to find available rooms for people and families who need a place to stay. And starting tomorrow, all Winston-Salem Transit Authority bus rides are going to be free. A woman from Winston-Salem and her 1-year-old daughter went from sleeping in a car to having an apartment they can call their own. Brandon Bates is working from home as we continue practicing social distancing here at WXII. He shows us that the pandemic isn't stopping the Winston-Salem Housing Authority from helping people who need it.
Yeah, well, Latina Walters moved to Winston-Salem from Texas a few months ago looking for a fresh start. But just when things started to work out for her, the stay-at-home order that came along with coronavirus put her back to square one.
I've been living in motel rooms ever since the end of June.
Latina Walters came across hard times last year. Without a steady place to live, she's been in and out of motels in Winston-Salem while taking care of her 1-year-old daughter. Some nights, staying in a motel wasn't even an option.
If I didn't have money for a motel room, then I would sleep in my car for a night or two.
She says she eventually got a job and had housing lined up last month, but the timing couldn't have been worse.
When the coronavirus hit, it really knocked me out of a job, so it was hard for me.
During this time, Walters met Karen Cuthrell, who owns a business called the Feelings Company. Cuthrell helped Walters here and there and brought up her situation to the Housing Authority.
She had a Section 8 voucher available.
Turns out Walters was eligible for an apartment. Kevin Cheshire, the executive director of the Housing Authority, did all that he could do to help.
The inspector went out on a Friday when our office was closed because he was aware of the situation. And he wanted to get out there and get the inspection done as quickly as possible.
And in a matter of days, Walters went from sleeping in her car to having her very own apartment.
There's no words for it. I mean, thank you isn't enough.
At the end of the day, our mission is to provide housing. And while we want to make sure that we're being mindful of the order and that we're not exposing our staff unnecessarily, in this particular situation, there was a vacant unit, so we felt that the exposure was minimal. And we felt that the hardship of someone living in a car with a young child was something that we could address.
Walter says she will forever be grateful for the selflessness of the Housing Authority and her community. She has some advice, too, for anyone who is where she was last month.
Just keep your head up and keep on going, baby. Just keep on going. You got to. You can't let it bring you down. You can't let it break you. You've got to keep going.
Walters told me that she is out of work right now. She was working at the Waffle House to make ends meet. She says once she's allowed to go back to work, that job will be waiting for her. Reporting from my home tonight, Brandon Bates, WXII 12 News.
Brandon, thank you. Coronavirus cases and deaths are increasing all across the state tonight, but health leaders say there's no peak right now. The state has more than 5,000 cases across 93 counties. 418 people are in the hospital. 108 people have died. Good news tonight, we haven't learned of any new deaths in the triad, but we have learned of the first person to die today in Chatham County. Well, there are 16 new cases in our viewing area for a total of 33 tonight. Here's a look at the county-by-county breakdown. 7 counties in our area have fewer than 12 cases. For the second straight day, we're not reporting any new deaths, and the death toll remains in the triad at 24. Most people in Forsyth County have recovered from the virus. Of the county's 123 cases, 83 patients have recovered, and 4 have died. 86 people have tested positive for the virus in Davidson County, but more than half of those people have recovered. 2 have died. More than half of the 41 confirmed patients in Alamance County have recovered, with no deaths reported. North Carolina's Department of Health and Human Services Secretary Dr. Mandy Cohen says communities of color are disproportionately impacted by COVID-19. African Americans account for 21% of the state's population, but make up 38% of COVID-19 cases in the state and 39% of deaths.
These health disparities are long-standing and pervasive. They didn't start with this pandemic, but they have long existed in this country and our state. In almost every health measure, unfortunately, our communities of color are hit hardest during this pandemic and fare worse. This was a focus of my department before COVID-19 and must continue to be a focus as we respond to this COVID-19 crisis.
Well, Dr. Cohen says access to quality primary and preventative care is an essential ingredient to building strong communities. She says that starts with access to affordable health insurance. Dr. Cohen is calling on the federal government to take steps to support doctors who serve people who are uninsured and Medicaid patients in North Carolina as well. Well, some people lost jobs that provided health insurance, and others can't afford health insurance options that they had. Dr. Cohen says most families qualify for savings on insurance right now. People who nearly lost their health insurance qualify for special enrollment period and can enroll for coverage right now. You can figure out your options on healthcare.gov. And a reminder, the federal and state tax deadline is not tomorrow. It's been extended to July 15th because of the coronavirus outbreak. So you still have 3 months to file. But do be in mind, in North Carolina, you will still owe interest on money that you owe if you file after April 15th. The department says state law would have to change to waive that interest. New tonight, staff at Wake Forest University are volunteering to take pay cuts. The school's cabinet and academic deans are taking a 10% pay cut to help out with financial implications the school's facing during this outbreak. Head football coach Dave Clausen is among those joining that effort, and athletic director John Curry is praising that move.
I didn't even have to ask. He said right away, John, Catherine, and I, of course, will be part of that. And the next day we had a Zoom call with all of our head coaches, all of whom said that they would participate. And that's a really selfless thing for those coaches to do.
On the road to reopening the U.S. economy, there is a showdown brewing between the federal government and the states over how to do it safely and who has the final say. Tonight, we've learned President Trump is suspending America's funding to the World Health Organization in the middle of a worldwide pandemic. More now with Alice Barr.
Very importantly, I'd like to...
President Trump announcing tonight he's halting hundreds of millions of dollars in funding to the World Health Organization, pending a review of how that body responded at the start of the coronavirus outbreak.
Severely mismanaging and covering up the spread of the coronavirus.
The move cuts off the WHO's largest source of funding in the middle of a global pandemic. Turning to reopening the country, President Trump saying some states could be ready before May 1st, noting he'll be speaking with all 50 governors about their reentry plans.
Let individual governors run individual states. I'm not going to put any pressure on any governor to open.
It's a sharp reversal from last night's briefing when the president declared reopening the country was solely his decision.
When somebody's the president of the United States, the authority is total.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo saying today he refuses to get into a political fight with the president, but
his proclamation is that he would be king. That statement cannot stand.
New York now part of a coalition of Northeast states planning a careful re-entry process. The same thing happening on the West Coast.
It's going to be gradual, incremental. We're going to use data, we're going to use science.
And with governors drawing up their blueprints for reopening their economies, they're now finding themselves bidding against each other for test kits, just like they did for critical medical supplies.
I want to get out of the eBay competition business for vital medical equipment and now vital testing.
Governor Cuomo calling for FEMA to take over buying millions of tests and get them to the states based on need. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Local food banks tell us they're having trouble with keeping up with the demand of families looking for help during the pandemic. Today, Second Harvest Food Bank's partner agencies collected food to help them meet that need. Local food banks need your donations now more than ever. Tomorrow, we're partnering with Second Harvest Food Bank for a virtual telethon. For details on how you can donate, head to WXI12.com/secondharvest. Right now, there is a state of emergency in effect for Alamance County following yesterday morning's tornado touchdown. This declaration will help leaders get emergency supplies to clean up and rebuild. We went back to some of the hardest hit spots today. Local leaders tell us the damage was so bad yesterday they couldn't get into all the neighborhoods. This is a look at Lindley Mill Road. Many homes and farm buildings will have to be repaired. The National Weather Service says this was one of 7 confirmed tornadoes yesterday in North Carolina.